Welcome everyone. Today I would like to go through the stages of meditation, which I learned recently. I would like to share my screen here. Can you see this picture? So this is from the book, The Mind Illuminated. In this book, they have presented different stages of meditation. I'll go through each stage and give an overview of what each stage is about. Do you see the picture here? The monk here is the meditator. The elephant here is the mind, and the monkey before it is the distractions. And the monk has two objects in his hands. In the left hand, he has rope, which is mindfulness. And on the right hand, he has a hook, which is intention or introspective awareness. And you can also see there is fire in this picture, which represents the effort that is needed in the first stage. And also notice the distance between the meditator and the elephant. So in this stage, this is the first stage where everybody tries to establish the practice. The goal in this stage is to be regular and consistent so that we can build the habit, meditation habit. Generally, during this stage, when we sit down, within few seconds, the mind starts wandering. Like how this elephant is going behind the distractions. The mind keeps going away. So it keeps running behind the distractions. We start remembering the errands that we need to run, the conversations we had, and the regrets. It mostly feels that it is impossible to stay focused. But the goal in this stage is to be regular and consistent and come back to the practice and make a schedule, whatever is the practical schedule for each one of us, make a schedule and come back to the practice. Even though if you miss one day, the progress here is to come back the next day without any judgments. Coming to the stage 2. If you look at the picture here, the distractions are still holding to the mind and it is actually taking its way. And the meditator is trying too hard to catch up. And the fire, if you look at here, there is a lot of effort needed to get the attention. In this stage, we are trying to develop the ability to recognize when our mind starts wandering. We try to bring it back quickly. The key in this stage is to feel happy whenever you find that your mind is wandering, and when you got it back, the general tendency is to feel bad about it. Oh, why my mind is wandering, right? But in this book, they say that at that stage, when you notice that the mind is wandering, that is the aha moment. So you were able to catch the mind wandering, right? So just feel happy about it. That will reinforce us to start catching the mind when it starts wandering. So this is very crucial in second stage. So you will try to find it more often that the mind is distracting and just get it back to the breath. So catching distractions is not a sign, is not a bad sign. So it is actually a good sign of awareness and it is not a failure. That is something that we need to remember. In this stage, you are still distracted a lot, and now you are aware of it sooner, right? Instead of just letting it distract for a long time, you can catch it sooner and bring it back to breath. So what we are training in this stage is responsiveness. One thing I would like to highlight here is, if you look at this length here, that represents the time it takes in this stage. So in the first two stages, it takes a while to establish these two stages. But when you move to the third stage, the time you spend here is less. If you look at here in this stage, the picture, the meditator got the rope onto the mind. So now he has some control. And the distraction and the mind is starting to look at the meditator. And the effort is little lesser compared to the previous stage. But do you see a new guest here? It's the rabbit. So the rabbit represents the dullness. So generally the natural opposite to attention is dullness. When we start getting more attention, distraction is dullness. So when you start reducing the distractions, the dullness slightly tries to come into the picture. So in this stage, our goal is to have extended attention. You can stay in the breath for a little longer stretches. So compared to the previous stage, when we get distracted probably every 10 seconds, in this stage, you might be able to stay on breath for a minute or two before getting distracted again. So that is a good achievement. So in this stage, we try to be more focused and capable of staying on that focus for a minute or two before losing it. Sometimes we forget as well. So sometimes you might drift for a longer time. Sometimes we completely forget that we are meditating and get attached to the thought or the distraction that is trying to get. But yeah, that is part of this stage. So that is expected. By end of this stage, actually, we achieved a milestone and we have to be happy about it. That milestone is we are able to catch that our mind is wandering. So that is almost impossible when we started in stage 1. Now we realize that the mind wanders and the self-awareness is working. Generally, most people don't even realize that the mind got drifted. In this milestone, we are able to achieve that through first 3 stages. So in real life, what this means is when you're meditating, a thought hijacks you, but you can catch it in 5 seconds instead of 5 minutes. So that is kind of the milestone that we have achieved from the first 3 stages. Coming to the 4th stage here. If you look at the meditator, he got a little closer to the mind. And one more thing. So this color that represents is trainability, right? Like right now, the mind is more trained, or it doesn't have much distraction. So it starts becoming white from black, right? And the same thing. So the distractions got reduced now. So even the monkey is turning white. And the dullness. So the dullness is more like drowsiness that we get. That will be still there. So as we, that is something that we need to battle while meditating, right? Like when we reduce the distractions, the dullness comes in, the drowsiness. The drowsiness is something very similar to what we feel after a good meal, right? Like a heavy meal or a feast. We get that drowsiness, or it is generally a pleasant experience. You feel that you are so relaxed and so happy there, but it is actually dullness. That the skill here that we develop is to balance between the dullness and distraction. There will be distractions, and also there will be dullness here in this stage. We need to make sure the mind is not too active or not too dull, right? So the balancing. That is the important thing here. We are at this stage 4, we are trying to balance both. The next stage is strengthening stability and clarity. So in this stage, do you notice the big difference? Now the meditator is ahead of mind, and the distraction is trying to grab the attention of the mind. You see the monkey trying to pull the tail. So the mind is now more trained, and it has less distractions, but still distractions come in and try to grab the attention. And the dullness also gets reduced here. So the main thing here is to keep ourselves on the breath without getting drifted, but also keeping the mind sharp. So the clarity is very important in this phase, in this stage. It is not just only about attention. It should be very clear. The attention should be very clear instead of subtle dullness in the background. So the pitfall, or the thing that need to be remembered in this stage is that blissful dullness, right? So not to get into that stage where you feel so blissful, but it might be dullness actually that is causing that bliss. So clarity is important, and in this stage we try to be steady, not to be drowsy or distracted, but also clear. That is stage 5. The effort is also less here, so you don't need to put so much effort in this stage, and the time that takes in this stage is less compared to the initial stages. Again, we reached another milestone here. We can stay focused at this stage and also adjust, right? Like we can easily catch the dullness and try to be sharp or clear, and at the same time catch the distractions and be back on the breath. So that is the balance that we have on this stage, and that's a good milestone. So the real life thing is you start spacing out, but you realize that it is early, and adjust the posture, like just adjust the posture if you're getting drowsy, and regain alertness, and then get back to the breath. Stage 6. So here, the dullness almost reduced. So you won't have any, there will be still that subtle dullness that might come in, and there will be subtle distractions, but they are not too strong. You don't just catch the mind wandering, you sense that it is about to wander. So you'll be able to catch it before it starts wandering. So you will be able to see that, okay, this is the time that there might be a distraction that is coming up, right? You'll be able to catch it way earlier than before. And the same thing with the dullness. You will know that, okay, now I might get a little drowsy. So, and then you adjust, and so before the dullness creeps in, you were able to catch it, and so that the awareness is sharp in this stage. And then this is the exclusive attention stage. So here, there is no more, the rope is not in anymore, right? And the mind is almost white, right? Like it got trained, and the distractions are far away, and the effort is very less here. And actually the mind goes on its way, and there is not much effort that the meditator puts in this stage to control the mind, or to bring it back to the breath, right? So the effort generally fades away after this stage. You don't need to put too much effort into meditation. It naturally happens. It feels natural. And the distractions or the dullness it's not completely gone, but way better. And this stage is also it's a short stage, so it doesn't take I think the initial 2 stages takes more time, but after that the book says that it gets reduced here. And this is another important milestone where effort is reduced, right? That's important. So at this stage, you don't put too much effort. That is the important milestone here. So the real life, this stage or this milestone looks is you can stay on the breath for 15 to 20 minutes straight and without putting much effort. Like there won't be any distractions for like 15 to 20 minutes, and you'll stay on the breath effortlessly. Mental and the stage 8. So that's the mental and physical pliancy. So if you look at here, there is no more distractions or dullness. And the meditator just stays with the mind all the time. Especially in this stage, it's more flexible. So you don't even worry about where the mind is. It stays with you. So it feels more pleasurable and blissful, and the body relaxes. Stage 9. So this is more almost the final stages, right? In the 9th and 10th stage or final stages. So where you don't put much effort, and the mind will just stay with you and align with you all the time. It is self-sustaining, and you feel more spacious and deep. Now the practice is very sustained. Yeah, and in the 10th stage, it's like unification. So you won't have distracting or divergent thoughts. So all of them converge to same place, and this is the final stage. And the book says that you feel more unified and awake the whole time. So that will be like a natural tendency. You don't need to meditate, but the natural tendency is the meditative state. During this stage, you will finish the sitting and feel very refreshed. So after this stage, it's like meditation feels good and natural. So you actually enjoy meditating. So it won't be a task anymore. That's it. And this is from the book called Mind Illuminated by John Yates. Thank you.